SMR family, welcome back to episode 18. Today I'll be starting off the show with a beautiful, talented artist. She goes by the name of Kelsey Vaz. This song is called Focus. Check it out. Shalisa Marie Radio.
You got a lie. I'm so tonight. Baby, let's fly. Yeah, we got a lie. And I might teach you about real loving. Tryna make it out alive. Them dollar signs ain't gonna treat me right. So if you're trying to make it out alive, I should never have to tell you to focus. I just need you to focus. Say it like you mean it. Boy, you overthinking. Oh yeah. Tonight we stayin'. Ain't it in your pocket. Give me your affection. Bust it up, niggas talk. Line them up and light them up. All that you got, put it on me. But let me know if you bout it. Material, yeah, it's not enough, yeah. Boy, I'm financially stable. Yes, I can pay for my cable. Don't say sorry. Baby, just show me something. I'm being honest. Yeah, you got me. Yeah, fuck with you for the glow up, and it's the same thing. Focus. I just need you to focus.
To know true love, you must know heartbreak.
Come and talk to me.
Shalisa Marie Radio. Yes? No?
No, I completely agree. You have to kind of hit that rock bottom in order to fully understand how the heart loves and how it works, for sure. No, absolutely, 1,000%.
I think that it does play a part, like getting your heart broken. It teaches you like what you like and what you don't like if you really like step back and analyze that whole relationship. But I don't know, it doesn't happen necessarily for everyone. Some people find their true love right off the bat and they live happily ever after. So I guess it just depends on the person.
It depends on the person.
I do not believe that you need to experience a heartbreak in order to love. I feel like from when we're children, we're taught to love. We grow up loving. I don't think a heartbreak teaches you to love. I think a heartbreak teaches you more about yourself. And there are lessons in heartbreaks, but I don't think it's a necessity to love. Or to learn love, or to learn how to love.
Welcome to Shalisa Marie Radio. This is episode 18. I am here in my bedroom this time with my sisters once again. You guys can introduce yourselves. Go ahead.
Hi, it's Tatiana from Cozy Culture.
I'm Patrice.
My co-host, by the way.
Yes, a co-host.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a special episode, just me and you, to like fully, completely introduce ourselves together. And
Chantal.
so yes, so today we are speaking about heartbreak. I decided to choose this topic because Tatiana referred this topic to me, and as well as like I recently have gone through heartbreak, and I'm pretty sure that all of us have gone through some type of heartbreak. So we might as well, share our opinions. This episode will be as honest as possible, unfiltered, and personal stories from us and from listeners who tune in to SMR. All of these letters will be anonymous, so nobody's name will be mentioned, but there are a lot of people outside of us who do experience heartbreak. What is the lesson that you get out of going through a heartbreak?
I think that you learn a lot about your own character, what you need in somebody, realizing that nothing in life is promised, understanding that you have to, in order to gain something, you have to lose something.
Yeah.
And I think that that's such an important life lesson, to just understand that you can't take anything for granted and that everything exists for a moment. And that might be something that people may think is kind of depressing to hear. But I think
it's true, though.
Everything is momentary and everything is temporary, and we experience everything for a moment. So I think that that's the most important lesson. Heartbreak makes that a full reality, that happiness can be momentary, and that we experience and exchange memories and share our connected feelings for a moment, and that that experience is beautiful for what it is, but it's not eternal at all times. So just understanding that concept firsthand is so important.
Accepting that something can't be eternal is still hard for me to even grasp. Like, it hurts.
No, it hurts.
Because, like, you can, like, undergo so many memories with one person, and then all of a sudden, like, it's just done.
And I think that's where I'm, like, I've felt hurt the most in my heartbreaks, is because I'm a dreamer. And so, like, when I fall for someone, like, I imagine, like, a future with them, like, even if it's, like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, I just, like, think about, like, what could be, Yeah. So, like, when it's done, it's like, okay, like...
Is that infatuation or is that love? Is that, in fact...
It's the idea.
I think that infatuation can break your heart.
It can.
For
because
sure.
it sets you up.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I don't really think that this is like a matter of, have you loved or whatever.
No.
I think that so many things can be heartbreaking. Like, you can have your heart broken by numerous things, grieving.
Outside of relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's outside of relationships.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that's like a matter. But when you say, hey, this idea in my mind, when it's removed, is like... That to me reminds me of infatuation. I'm not saying that you've never been heartbroken, but do you think that it was love that's made you heartbroken, or more infatuation that's made you
for
heartbroken?
sure. It was infatuation, for sure.
Interesting.
That's what I do think that, because I don't know, I don't think that... Like, I think that I've loved someone, like, I've loved people, but I don't think that I was in love with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is possible. I feel like infatuation, and I am a dreamer as well. Like, honestly, one guy that I was talking to, like, just as little as him, like, holding my hand and guiding me to my car, I pictured me like walking down the streets with a bunch of like fans like chasing me down the street, and he's my man and he's protecting me and he's walking me to my car. Like, I'm fucked. And I actually picture that in my head. No, seriously. And I was like, no, yes, like, no. And I'm like, can he like stand, like, can he bear what I'm about to experience? Like, can he walk me to my car and tell people to get out of the way and get me to my car?
Well, no, because he's not your bodyguard, but...
He's supposed to be my bodyguard. He's my man.
I think that my man has to be my bodyguard too.
Of course.
Yes.
But then I feel like
you have
that
to be able
also...
to do both.
that is, like... goes hand in hand with, like, having you, like, can he support you mentally? You know, because, like, you want to be in this business, like, in the media and stuff like that, and there's going to be a lot of things that's going to challenge your relationship, especially if he's not in the industry.
I agree.
So,
but, like, that dream that I have is, like, just, like, the first thing that I think about. Like, I don't think about, like, can he support me mentally yet? Like, it's just, like, the first thing, and that's where I always get screwed over in relationships, because I always just picture things and think that they're going to go that way.
Yeah.
And then they don't go that way. So I don't even think that deep yet. Like, I'm just thinking of, like, the picture. Like, how do we look together? Do we present ourselves properly together? Can I walk with you down the street and, like, you know, we look like, you know, I don't know, like,
so, like,
inspirational couple.
So you go for more of, like, a physical first?
Yes.
Or,
yes,
yeah.
I do.
I do too.
I do.
Wow,
I can't lie.
that's
Call me
interesting,
shallow
because I was having
and-
a conversation with my girl about this, about the brand of your relationship.
The brand of your relationship.
The brand, and, like, branding your relationship, and if you're interested in that, and if that's important to you. And I was like, I was expressing to her that it's totally not important to me, but I've been in relationships with people that are like, you know, like, I want to post pictures and stuff, and I'm like, that's interesting. Like, I really reflect within myself, and, like, what that gives me nothing if the relationship doesn't. I don't get anything from that. I don't get anything from the imagery. I don't, like, there's nothing that feeds my soul from that level of imagery, unless maybe we have a business together and I like the idea of, like, somebody maybe helping me push my business and stuff like that. That's the idea in my head matters most, but the image to the public, man, if me and my man are going through, like, hell and high waters and people kind of think that that's maybe messed up, that doesn't really bother me necessarily. Like, the brand, I don't consume myself with that too much. I'm such an energy person that I gain the most fulfillment strictly from that connection. Like, I know that there's people out there. Yeah, there's people out there that if their brand is wicked, but the connection is kind of shallow. Like, if I have trouble connecting with my man on a intimate, sexual, romantic, emotional, any type of level, but I'm posting pictures, that will give me a next level type of depression that I can't even explain.
And people will actually do that,
if there's an empty disconnect there, like,
especially, and is it because
crazy.
Like, you want people to think,
yeah, that's
like,
what
that
they want
idea
people to.
No,
that,
I don't
like,
have that though.
But
no,
that's
I
what
know. I'm saying,
people
like,
in that
people that
position
do it, yeah, like, they're thinking, like, oh, like, everyone thinks I'm in, like, such a great relationship, so it's like, are you? but like, are you feeding off of this, and, like, do you like this because of what everyone else has to say, or is it because you actually like the person and you see a future with this person? So I think that's where, like, we have, especially in this generation, because of social media. So it's like, oh, I'm going to post this person, so, like, everyone knows that they're claimed or I'm claimed. But really, like, in your DMs, there's still things.
Okay, so let's not get into the DMs yet. But, okay, so we're going to go around the bed that we're sitting in and mention the most influential heartbreak that we have gone through. First, we'll start with a letter from one of our listeners of SMR who spoke about a heartbreak. I actually really liked how they wrote this letter and how they framed it and how they repeated certain lines in that letter. So let's take a listen.
I have two, actually.
Okay.
I've had two.
So we'll go through each heartbreak and then we'll go from there.
Okay. So this is from one of our anonymous viewers. This heartbreak was like no other. He wasn't my boyfriend, husband, fiance, or anything like that. He was a one-night stand that turned into a year-long roller coaster. We were never supposed to be. With that being said, this is too the one who hurt me the most. Thank you. Although you were my toughest heartbreak, you have taught me a lot, not only about relationships, but about myself. You have taught me to love myself endlessly and to put myself first. Ironically, you showed me how a man should treat me. I've grown a lot since this heartbreak. I've become more open with my feelings and learned to communicate. That the reason being is that our relationship lacked communication. We never talked about our feelings with each other, which made it hard to establish what we are. To the one who hurt me the most. I hope you never do anyone else the way you did me. Our relationship was complicated, but it was something we only would understand.
Damn.
That's like,
That's interesting. Like, I want to comment on that because I think that... Wow. That's... Okay. So first and foremost, my first comment is that we, like, definitely feel within our own space and within our own world. We are only capable of fully understanding our own heartbreak and, like, what we're going through. But I think that that's so true. I want to just say, like, encore, because... we're the only ones who fully understand our situation because we're the ones going through it.
You're going through it.
There's nobody else that thinks that their best friend fully understands it, because no matter what, you're not them. You're not that actual individual who went through it, period. But what I think is interesting was that she commented, I don't know who this person is, but that anonymous person said that, like, they weren't comfortable voicing their feelings and stuff like that. And I think that when we leave those gray areas, like those areas for gaps and lack of understanding and lack of communication, it introduces like an interesting void that we didn't give that love our full self or our full chance when we lack transparency and when we hold back. So I think that that's an interesting comment. I don't want to take a shot at that person, but I definitely want to illustrate that, like, I want to encourage any, like, I'm no activist of love or no love guru, but I just want to say that, like, I think that every aspect of our life deserves our full self. Whether it's in our work, whether it's in a relationship, like, I think that maybe, like, there, with limits, like, you don't want to be too naggy. Every thought that goes through your head doesn't need to be, like, formulated into a text. Yeah. But living organically and speaking from your heart and mind, I think that those true heartbreaks, that when somebody knows every thought and you have fully acknowledged it and given your full self and it's not enough, true heartbreak comes from that. But I also think that that person never got the chance to maybe fall in love with the full you if you didn't release everything. So that's what I wanted to comment and say. I just wanted to say that,
I like that comment.
Give the full you, give all of you to that person.
I love it.
And if you don't feel like you can if you don't feel that you can give all of you to that person, then
it's a wrap.
Don't
do
do
it.
What's the point?
Don't do it.
What's the point? You're wasting.
But also challenge the blocks. If you say that, hey, I can't.
But
why?
But people in this generation don't relationships and partners, they don't know how to challenge situations. When something goes wrong, they just leave it. Yeah. They don't even try to work it out.
No, it's crazy.
And that is the part.
I can't let it go, man. I can't.
But that's honestly, some people would see that. Some people would comment and on that type of relationship and be like, "Why are you putting up with it? Like, why are you going through it? Like, why are you dealing with whatever you guys are going through?
Know your worth and shit like that.
Yeah, know your worth, but." At the same time, what are you going to do? Just what are you going to do when you guys are married? Like, and something goes wrong and you guys get into a huge
I would
argument.
rather fight
You're gonna
with you
leave
than be with somebody else. Exactly. Like, when it comes to like marriage and stuff like that, I definitely have this level of resilience and perseverance that I pride myself on. That I think that some people would look at it like know your worth, but it's about balancing.
I mean, if he's like beating you, like, okay, that's a different topic.
That's a different topic, like Stockholm Syndrome, that shit is like, whoa. We're into a whole nother conversation, but balancing know your worth with perseverance. Balancing self-respect with still a level of just courageousness. And I think that these traits we kind of lose sight of, like just patience, kindness, goodness, forgiveness. You know, like just bringing it back to like Sunday school days and just being able to fully give all of those traits to somebody else. Yeah.
So this person mentioned, ironically, you've shown me how a man should treat me, but then he broke your heart.
No. You need the opposite in order to know the way that you should be treated.
Mm-hmm. I just don't understand weird, though. Like, this is like where what she said, like, why is it always a strong bond in the beginning and then give us 7 months into the relationship? All that work that person was putting in the beginning of the relationship is gone. Like, what makes people do that? It's a regular thing. Like, this happens in almost every single relationship where, like, everyone goes
so
hard.
sad.
Everyone loves the chase in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, like, no more, like, nights out that were fun. No more, like, I don't know, phone calls, like, at night, like, just fun phone calls
Sad
and
thing
stuff.
is, change is inevitable, and people don't seem to understand that, like, things aren't always going to remain the same when you first started out, but, like, you have to find ways to make things refreshed and renewed, or, like, it's just someone that you're not really connecting with either.
And then it's just
like,
not naturally
it's not gonna
working.
work out. Like, there's things that you have to really sit down and think about, like, is this something that I can live with for the rest of my life, or is this something that's gonna bother me? Like, people oftentimes get too comfortable and just end up staying in something out of comfort, but don't really think about, like, analyzing the situation that they're in to see if it's something that they can actually build on or work on or accept for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
really.
and also, like, understanding that not everyone is meant for you, and not
Exactly.
everyone is meant to be your full lifelong. I always tell, like, when my friends actually come to me, like, for advice in regards to, I don't think, like, I'm a love guru, but I just make these general statements that I think are very much applicable, and I think that not everyone is meant to be your life partner. Not everyone is meant to be just your sex friend. You need to be able to categorize and accept people for what they are meant to be in your life, and understand that not everyone is your hopeless romantic husband, whatever. Not everyone is going to be, like, you need to be able to accept somebody as a friends with benefit and understand that that was what they were meant to be, and they were meant to teach you maybe 5 things, and that's what it was. And understanding that, you know, like, that heartbreak happens, but it's meant to happen for that reason, and that it's preparing you for something better. And yeah, recognizing that, I think that that's the hardest thing to come to terms with, like, hey, what was this person's purpose in my life? But being able to categorize that person as a sex friend in somebody's mind might be even so heartbreaking in itself. Like, I know that I've been in a relationship where I was, like, trying to identify and trying to categorize, like, hey, I have feelings for this person, I connect with them, but I don't exactly maybe want to bring them home, or I don't exactly think that they will vibe with my grandma. Like, if you can't vibe with my grandma, it's a wrap. Understanding, okay, this is a sex friend, or this is a friends with benefit, or this is somebody I was meant to connect with on an emotional level, but not a romantic level, and they're not meant to be the father to my kids, but I'm meant to maybe fall in love with them, or to love them, or just care for them, but they can't father, you know. And I think that having respect for all of those types of relationships is beautiful, like, being able to categorize it. And I think that that's something
so
that
hard
I can
to accept
in
the moment.
No, but
in the moment, like,
once I came to that surreal realization, I found so much peace in even broken friendships and broken relationships of all types, not romantic relationships, but all types of relationships, being able to categorize them for what they are. I have so much peace in my heart with that. And once I came to that, I was like, okay, you are meant to be my lover for this time, and that's okay too. And the time is over now, and it sucks. But those memories were so beautiful. I can look at the pictures and be sad, but now I'm preparing myself for a next lover, and I need to be able to receive that love.
And I can't, if we still
you gotta keep your heart
this,
soft and keep it going.
you
gotta keep it going and make sure your heart stays soft. But yeah.
Okay. I could look back at past relationships and be like, you know what? You came into my life at the perfect time, even though, you know, maybe I wanted it to be long term, but, like, it was what I needed at that time.
Perfect, yeah.
It was what I needed at that time. Do I need it now in my life? No. At that time, it served me a purpose, but any longer than that, it would have served me absolutely no purpose.
Yeah.
So it's important to look back and reflect on relationships or relations that you have with people and actually learn and take something from them. Because, again, I don't think everyone is in your life or meant to be in your life permanently or on a romantic level, but maybe they served one specific purpose in your life, and they served that purpose, and their season is gone.
Their time is up.
Exactly.
I think I had a hard time with that with my ex, because, like, I wanted to keep the relationship, like, forever, you know? And, like, I think it was really hard for me to come to terms that it just probably wouldn't be like that. And, like, it got to, like, such a bad situation for me to then realize that. And even after that situation, I still didn't realize, because, like, I was still hooking up with this person, and, like, I just felt so, like, not low, but I'm like, wow, like, he put you to, like, such a low point, and, like, you're still giving yourself to him, you know? It's like, why are you doing this? So, and then...
Why were you doing that?
I don't know. I guess I thought, like, that it was going to go back to like,
what it was.
the good times. Like, I was still holding on to the good times. And, like, when it was good, I was like, okay, like, maybe this is going back to, like, how I thought that this relationship was going to turn out to be. And then, like, one thing happens, and then it brings me back to, like, okay, like, literally, this is not going to work. And it was a lot of back and forth. But I think I finally come to terms with it. And,
Wow.
yeah.
How long did it take you? What was the duration of time that you, like, that it took to reach a level of acceptance?
Well, like, I met this guy when I was 16. And, like, I'm 21 now. And, like, we just, like, fully broke up last year. But we were still hooking up after that. And, like, we stopped hooking up in July of this year. So, and... like, after the conversation that we had, which went, like, really south, I've finally, like, come to terms. And, like, someone else came into my life, like, right after that, right? And they were, like, completely opposite. And, like, I think that what you guys are talking about, this guy came into my life at the perfect time. Because, like, I was like, wow, like, I'm just going to be single forever. Like, I really don't want anyone. But, like... yeah, but he was, like, like a breath of fresh air, literally. And, like, I respect him so much for that. And, like, I don't know where things are going to go with him.
Exactly.
But, like, I'm excited about it. And, like, I don't feel like I'm rushing it or, like, I'm forcing anything, you know? Like, I feel like he's giving me the same energy that I'm giving him. But, like, even if the situation is not where I want it to be. And maybe it doesn't need to be where I want it to be right now. So...
yeah,
it's all about acknowledging. Yeah, it's all about finding peace in that situation. Like,
yeah, I'm an organic person.
it.
I've never had a really rigid personality. I'm not that type of girl that brings a question like, "So what are we?" I'm not that kind of girl.
I'm so that girl.
Really?
I have to. I don't ask that question.
I'm not bringing those talks. I don't think I've ever really said that, and I'll tell
I don't
you
think
why.
I've said, like, what are we, but, like, more of, like, what's your intention behind talking
like,
to me for
your
this
head
long
at?
now. Like, 4 months down the road, I'm going to ask you the question. If we're, like, chilling all the time, like, we're chilling every single weekend, I'm not just going to just chill with you and kick up with you and not ask you what your intention behind talking to me is. But then now that I'm thinking about you...
on vacation with my boyfriend before we even established who we were. Like,
I
sometimes
cannot.
I just feel like you just need to go with the flow.
The energy.
And
Yeah,
maybe,
true.
like, at this point in my life now, maybe I've just come to that now because when I was younger, I think I would have been the person to say, like, oh, what are we? Like, where is this going? Like, what are your intentions? But then I've gotten to the point where, like, I enjoy, like, being in the moment and like, just going with the flow.
Being present.
And just seeing where things go. Like, if it doesn't go, you know, if we don't end up being in a relationship, like, I enjoyed my time with you. I'm not
enjoyed
mad.
that.
I don't have any, like, you know, any bad feelings
It wasn't a
towards
waste of
you.
time.
Like, it wasn't a waste of time. It served
wasn't.
me something in that moment. Like, it nourished my soul in that moment. But,
Happiness
like,
it was
is worth
something
it.
I wanted to
Happiness
do
is worth it.
at
Any
that
level
time.
of joy,
Yeah.
happiness, anything that comes in that moment is worth my time.
Exactly.
I don't think it's a waste of, I don't want to
I
be
used to
wasting my
get
time. I don't say that
I
bullshit.
used
It's
to
never
get,
a
like,
waste.
told of myself, like, when someone used to tell me all the time, like, oh, you're, like, the in the moment type of girl, like, you're a hoe. You're the in the moment type of girl. Like, being in the moment type of girl is not, like, it's not a cool thing. It's not, like, you shouldn't...
No, I'm not saying not to have boundaries either.
Or, like, lose self-respect.
But, like...
Yeah, you're not losing self-respect. Like,
I'm an energy
you're doing
person.
what you want
like,
to do in the moment.
100%.
If it's something you want to do, then it's something you want to do. Who gives a shit about what other people have to say?
Yeah.
You're all grown. You can do whatever the hell you want to do.
No, actually, and you recognize that when you get older, that, like, who's actually a hoe? All that stuff is so... It becomes so immature and so
Yeah, it is
juvenile.
I think, like, it steers away from living your life for you. Like, you're not living your life to please other people. You should be living your life to please yourself. You have to live in your life for the rest of your life, in your body for the rest of your
Nobody
life.
else.
So, like, if you're unhappy, you're going to be unhappy
Yeah.
for the rest of your life if you do nothing about it based on what other people are saying or what other people feel. But I think it's important to keep in mind, like, what makes you happy. Like,
Yeah. And
what
also
do you
not be
wanna do?
destructive to yourself, like balancing those two things. Like, you might say, like, oh, like, why are you having sex with, like, this person if they have no intention on keeping you there. Protecting your heart, but also living in your energy and being present in that moment. Saying if you want to have sex with that person, have sex with them. It might bring you happiness in that moment, but also being able to balance that self-destruction. Like,
Yeah,
you
you
can
gotta
be
be able-
self-destructive, for sure. So, like, there's definitely with limits, but also, like, man... happiness is worth it. Makes you happy during that time.
But in the same breath, like
Bring it on.
if you are having sex with that person and then you go home and like you're thinking
crying,
about
it's
it and
alright. It's not
and
worth
you're
it.
crying, but then you go back and do it again, like that's where the self-destruction comes in, and that's where that starts.
I
So
remember having a conversation with this guy that I used to mess around with, and he is the type of person, like, right off the bat, he'll tell you, like, I don't want anything serious, like, I literally just want this to be, like, a friends with benefits type of thing. And, like, oftentimes he'll end up messing with girls that end up falling for him, which is gonna
Yeah, that shit
happen
never
naturally.
works.
But they'll still continue having sex with him and get mad about petty little things. But at that point, like, it's up to you as an individual to, like, pull yourself out of that situation if you know that it's doing harm to yourself. Like, you have to know, and you have to be strong enough to, like, be able to get out of that. But a lot of people oftentimes don't do that and then end up falling into the cycle of staying with people that, and it becomes destructive to yourself. Like,
Yeah, you have to balance. That's why it's always with balance. I think that the key to, like, this life and everything is just
I messed around
balance.
with him, and I got to the point where I was like, okay, if I go any further in this, I know that I'm going to develop
myself,
feelings
yeah.
for this person and hurt myself. So I pulled myself away from that, and I'm cool with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I have a good way of... I've had my slip-ups, but I definitely have a good way of
all have.
balancing.
We all have.
But I'm saying I have a good way of balancing. When it comes to balance, I think that I have a good idea of, like, who I can, you know, like, I can pull away from and who I can pursue romantic feelings with and things like that. Like, having that key to balance and having that sense of, like, okay.
And you know, sorry, not to break. That comes with confidence. No, that does come with confidence and knowing what you can, like, emotionally handle and not, because weak-minded people emotion-wise can't just, like, do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people can do it, they just don't want to do it. Like, I feel like you can do it, but I don't know, maybe some people don't know how to really analyze situations and really understand their feelings or work through them. But, like, I feel like anyone can pull away.
Do you guys believe in
Letting go
pull away, like-
is easy, but we make it seem challenging. And that's a quote from one of my favorite poets, Landrell.
because you're focusing on what you want and not what you need.
And he says, because you're so stuck up on the on your feelings, but not focused on reality or something along the lines of that. And it sounds like cliche and petty, but, like, we make so much of our feelings and we service our feelings so much. But the reality of the situation is you can't drag out something longer than its time, and you really need to understand who's a life partner and who's not. If you can't identify and categorize, it's over. It's a wrap.
What is a life partner?
How do you identify a life partner? Yeah, I think that there can often be confusion in, like, what's a life partner and who's not. And I think that's where heartbreak comes in. Hey, I thought this person was a life partner, and I'm having trouble identifying that they're not. But I think that a life partner is somebody that would rather argue with you than be with somebody else. Somebody that has an undenying ability of unconditional loyalty and love. Mm-hmm. That is a life partner. And I've encountered that in my life once and a half.
what's the half?
Once and a half. That, like, I've had somebody who has unconditionally loved me, and I'm so grateful for that individual because it's given me a level of faith and hope in this world. Mm-hmm. Like, the amount of loyalty that he gave me.
Yeah.
And still gives me, like, I was the one who chose that, like, this relationship wasn't for me because it wasn't servicing everything that I needed and required. But it still is, like, the love still has never died in that situation.
On that note, I think it's good to break the narrative that there's no good guys out here. Just a side note. There are a lot of good guys out here, but we take them for granted. Or it's not servicing you, or there's something missing for you.
Or they're just friends.
But there's a lot of guys out there that are still very good.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe in soulmates? What is a soulmate?
I don't want to participate in this part.
Because
I think that this shit is just so whack. I don't know why.
yeah, like what is a soulmate?
Yeah, what is
that?
soulmate? And I just challenge things too much, and I'm too analytical to answer this question. So you
Too
guys
literal.
can participate. Like,
Well, we have a letter from a listener, and she said, I was never a believer in soulmates until I met my ex. I've never met someone I've clicked with on such a deep level. It was insane. I never thought I'd love and be loved so much. When our relationship ended due to distance, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with. Work was miserable. I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to socialize. It was a rough time. We tried everything to make it work. He tried coming back to Toronto, but something came up. I tried going to Vancouver, but the job didn't work out. No matter what, something always happened. And now that I've had the time to think about it with a clear head, there's probably a reason why we aren't together right now. I believe that we both need time to figure things out in our life on our own, and that's why we aren't together. But life works in mysterious ways, and I still have hope that we'll come back to each other again.
see, I do tell my friends to be open when I say things. I can't apply this to my own life. That's why I say when I say things. Because holy shit. Oh, be open to possibility. Be open to organic energy. That something might not be okay right now, but it might be okay tomorrow. And
even if it ends in an ugly way.
Ugly way, it's just not okay right now, and we all are going through chapters, and maybe you'll turn to chapter 8, and chapter 8 will be way better than chapter 2. Being open to a possibility and finding peace in that. But also, there was an interesting point that she made about like soulmates.
Yeah, soulmates. She still believes, even though the distance was...
the distance. I wanted to address that too, like the distance and all that kind of stuff. I've been there. I've been when you're at work, and literally, somebody told me recently that a heartache is comparable to like the way that you'll feel on trial on like some crazy level. The metaphor was basically saying that the level of angst and anxiety and all these things is comparable to like the way that you would feel like if you were on trial or if you were about to die or like something crazy like that, like the level of anxiety and level of,
I get it,
like the volume of pain.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You can't focus. Your heart hurts. Your chest aches. I've been there. I hear that. So that person that wrote, I totally relate to that. But I also just want to say that like the whole soulmates thing, identifying what a soulmate is and a life partner, I think that would be like the same. I think that, like, there's something too... What do you guys think? I think that it's something that's, like, too cliche for me.
It is... Well, like, they say that there's, like, more than one soulmate that will come into your life.
I don't think that your soulmate is necessarily...
So maybe your soulmate... so maybe your soulmate isn't your life partner. Maybe your soulmate is separate from a life partner.
And being
what you
okay
just
with
said.
that, too, that you can fall in love with somebody... they're not a good person for you to build a life with, buy a home with, and have children with. But you could be in love with them your whole life, but like there's somebody who is better with their finances and better with all of that other stuff that you can build a life with them, and that person might not be 2 in 1, and that's okay. So like a soulmate, I don't know if a soulmate is even relevant in discussion because you can't build lives with soulmates.
I think like soulmates do exist, but like it is cliche the way society puts it. The way it comes off, but like when you get into the detail of it, I think they do exist, and they don't even necessarily have to be someone that you're in love with. Like I think that my mom's my soulmate. Like if we were the same age, we'd literally be inseparable. But I don't think it has to be just someone that you're falling for or your boyfriend, your husband, da da da. Before we say that, I actually have one more
letter.
Want to share.
Go ahead.
It starts like this. Dear first love, you built me up, then destroyed me. Showed me the deepest love, then taught me how to hate.
Wow.
You've made it impossible for me to see more in a man than how I can serve him. You built my wall, helped me lay each brick. I don't know love anymore. I don't know whether I'll be able to break this habit of pushing everyone away so they can't hurt me just like you've hurt me. But I gotta forgive, despite never being able to forget. Because I need to forgive myself for never allowing myself to forget. Thanks for teaching me that the people standing behind you have the most power to stab you in the back. Love, your daughter.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Your daughter.
Your daughter.
Damn.
Wow.
So this person was writing that to their father.
To their father.
I guess that's the first heartbreak you would experience.
Yeah.
Over time.
That's crazy. That just proves that, like, we were saying that, like, heartbreak can't be from, like, it's not just romantically. Like,
Yep.
you can be heartbroken in so many ways. There's so much things in this life that can break your heart. Whoa.
Everyone has a story.
Your daughter.
Like,
Oh my
that's crazy.
God,
You built me up, then destroyed me. That's
Oh.
spiteful. Showed me the deepest love, then taught me how to hate.
These are some strong, violent words. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also can't say anything about anybody's pain. Like, that could have definitely occurred, but I also have never been able to relate to a love that has made me hate somebody. Anybody that I have once loved, I've found peace in our relationship and I'm on good terms with them. So in terms of, I don't really have any hatred in my heart for anyone. I can't. Whoa. I don't have.
Yeah,
a, like,
I disagree
fuck
too.
you.
I
can't relate to. I don't have much hate or any of that shit in my heart, literally for anyone. Mm-hmm. So being able to relate to this comment, I think, is interesting. I can't relate to it, but I think that I feel. Wow, I feel that. Wow.
I feel that.
That's crazy. That's crazy that somebody experienced that, but I don't have a fuck you mentality. I really can. Once I come to peace and I accept and I've reached that, I've gone through the full cycle of heartbreak or whatever it was, I'm here for it.
That's
I'm
good,
here
though.
to be civil. I'm here to be fair.
There needs to be more people
And
in
you
the
know-
world like you.
yeah.
Yes, and
I
you
don't
know
hate
what
on
though?
anyone.
She proved though that the storm never lasts forever. Even though we go through like hardships and, you know, mental breakdowns and emotional breakdowns as well, like she says, but I've got to forgive despite never being able to forget, because I
Yeah.
need to forgive myself for never allowing myself to forget.
Yeah, in my darkest moments, I say pain is process, not permanent. So it's one of my favorite
it
quotes.
is.
Because when you're in that moment, that I think that's the only thing that the heart needs to hear, is that this is a part of the process.
Yeah.
It's not permanent, because when you're in your darkest moments, you can only see that. You can only see pain. You can only see darkness. But you need to know that it's a part of the process and it's not permanent, and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You just need to know that. And I think that it's, again, cliche, but like, you just need to know that it's not permanent.
Yeah.
Because life is beautiful that way, that we get pain, we get
It's a
happiness,
whole
but we
experience.
need to be open to the pain and open to the happiness and open to everything in between.
That's so true.
So
I
yeah,
feel
her
like,
saying that is beautiful.
I feel like I've been with some guys and like at the end I was like, yeah, like honestly, like fuck you, but like I don't think that I've never held that. Like it might be like, yeah, like I'm mad at how this is ending. First of all, I'm mad at how you reacted to the relationship. I'm mad at how I reacted to the relationship. But like, I forgive you. I forgive myself.
I forget.
You know.
Yeah.
And like for me, like what I did I did this because like this like relationship was just like on my mind, and like I couldn't really talk to the person, so I wrote a letter to them, like in my journal.
love that idea.
And
she
like,
writes to them.
yeah, like what I would want to say, like if you were sitting in front of my face right now, and like after that, like I just let it go.
Wait, so you never give them the letter?
No. You just write it.
I write a lot. I don't have any trouble. I think that I'm not trying to be like bossy or whatever, but like I feel like my emotional intelligence is quite high. Like I can definitely serve my emotions with what they need, and like I can write when I need to write, and I know when I'm experiencing anxiety, I know how to cure that and whatever. Writing is beautiful, but I want to know why you're not saying that to their face. Why?
Because it's done. Like there's nothing more that we need to talk about. Like I understand how you feel about the relationship. you understand how I feel about the relationship, it's done. But now it's like I need to process like everything that's gone on, and I feel like for me writing it down,
talking to them is not going to do anything.
Yeah, because it's hitting a brick wall. Like it got to that
especially
point,
if they don't
listen.
they don't.
It got to that point where it's like we're just talking in circles, now, right? So why are we even having this conversation? Because I'm bringing negative energy in. I'm giving you negative energy. So it's like, you know what? Like, let's just end it.
And then you write the letter to them. Close the book.
Dating my ex for 6 years, not seeing him for 3 years after we broke up, and randomly running into him 3 years later after breaking up, and that conversation just pissed me off even more. Having that conversation with him afterwards, because I just realized he's still a fucking idiot. He's still an arrogant fucking idiot. So sitting there and writing it down for me makes sense, because maybe it's therapeutic for you, but talking to that person, especially if they don't think that they've done anything wrong,
exactly,
and they're
that's a big
narcissists,
thing.
it doesn't help to me. It's like opening yourself up to the same triggers and trauma that you've gone through with that same person.
Repetitively.
Like I trusted a guy, and like I felt so dumb for it, and like he set me up, and like I like lost $1,000. And, like, I'm like, wow, like, I put so much trust into this person, and then, like he just went ghost, like, deleted me off of everything, like, blocked me. And I was like, did that really just fucking happen? Like, and, like, I really didn't even know how to feel, but I was like, I learned from that, you know? I was like...
Okay, let's talk about, did that really just happen moments? Okay, so my personal is... basically, like, I think I was more infatuated with this person than, like, into this person, but I just, like, a lesson to everyone listening, just because a guy has a nice car and a nice job and makes a lot of money.
So on paper, he's perfect.
On paper, he is perfect. And that's exactly how I felt for him. I was like, this is exactly how I want my husband to be. He's a black man. He has a good job. He has a good savings account. Like, he's teaching me about stocks. He's telling me he has ambition. He's teaching me... He's telling me to make business plans for my radio show.
Did you guys connect, though?
And now that I'm thinking about it, no, because I don't think that, again, and I said this in the last episode, I don't think that we ever had a moment where we both fell for one another. It was all just physical. And it was all just, okay, yeah, let's have an intimate conversation for the moment.
I'm sick.
I'm sick too.
I'm
okay?
sick. And lately I've been feeling so much disgust.
I'm sick.
Like, humanity is disappointing me.
Humanity is offensive.
Factual.
No, seriously, like, till this day, I mean, I'm trying to let go because it's done, even though I never got to get, like, a word into that person. But when you, like, you know, you're telling me about your life and telling me about, like, the future experiences that you're about to, like, I don't know,
go on
or whatever experience, and then I find out, let me just put it out there, I find out that experience that you're talking to me about is with your girlfriend, and I've been talking to you for 8 months.
But the one thing I did
consistently, like, every week I at least saw you 2 to 3 times a week.
And for 8 months straight?
8 months straight. I'm not lying.
One thing I didn't like about that situation, because I know the situation you're talking about, is that you had a conversation with this person about, like, what they are doing in their life and stuff like that, and, like, they lied.
They lied. But at the same time, I played myself, because now that I'm thinking about it, the certain responses that I got back to the questions that I asked,
I
should have known. But then it's like, I'm infatuated. He's a black man. He has a Beamer. He's a contractor. He can build my palace. I swear I was thinking that. He can build my palace when I'm, like, up and, you know, successful. He, like, I don't have to pay other people. He could do it for me. We could build an empire. He could build my radio station. Like, I thought all these things, literally, and nothing planned out to be anything. And number two,
That's crazy.
again, back to the experiences, his girlfriend, and how I find out about his girlfriend is on Instagram with the Jeep that I recommended to him. And you find no fault. Like, even when I confront you now, you call me crazy and say I have split personality. Now, he is from Nova Scotia. I've heard a lot of things about Scotia. Oh my God! So maybe that's the sickness. And Morgan told me, like, Morgan Blades told me not to speak to a Scotiaman. I remember.
Scotiamans?
It was like a normal like thing. Like, it was nothing. And until this day now, I am nobody to him. He blocked me. I'm off of every social media account. He probably blocked my number. Like, I'm nobody, just like that. And I'm like, how do you have no type of like consideration for someone else's feelings when you've been leading them on the whole time?
And like, come on, like 8
care.
months. Like, it's not like it was a one night stand. Like, you guys were in this situation for 8 months. So the fact that he didn't even have the respect for you to just tell you, like, hey, like, I just see you as like
just tell
someone
me
that I want to hook up with or like just hang out with. You know, like, I don't want to take this relationship further. Like, he didn't even give you that respect to so that you could process your feelings
and make my own decision.
Yeah,
based on that,
because he was being selfish.
Yeah, that Scotian conversation. I'm gonna leave that there. I'll take it
I just think
offline.
women so often fall in love with, like, again, exactly what you said, like how someone looks on paper, but ignore so many things,
Yeah.
like, so many
signs.
signs.
Infatuation, I don't really
this person
struggle
is
with.
Not good for you mentally, spiritually.
I'm a dreamer.
Everything.
I don't dream though. I do on a very like career. In my dreams, like my stuff is like where I want it to be. And like I think that like my dreams are fully connected with my subconscious thoughts for sure, but not in a romantic way. I don't like battle with like high levels of infatuation and like the traits of infatuation. I think I love really hard, but I'm not really. I think about it a little bit, but I don't entertain infatuation type thoughts very often, and I don't know why.
Oh,
I don't know if that's
I don't know why
thing.
I do it so much. Like
I
I
can
do it
picture
a
you
lot.
with my kids and stuff.
Yes, literally.
I think maybe 1 or 2 years down the road in terms of my infatuation, but it doesn't go further than what my nearby goals are. It's like, hey, can you help me with my business? Hey, can you help me reach where I want to reach? That stuff. I don't really, no, and I don't really like believe in couple brand stuff. I really don't know why I'm like this, and I think that being a dreamer would be kind of interesting because dreaming is beautiful, but I don't dream. I don't dream enough.
dreaming is beautiful, but I feel like every time I dream, it just sets me up.
Set up too.
Yeah, like I haven't had a situation yet where like I've dreamt about something and it like
Actually came through.
I know
like
you're a dreamer though.
Like it just like I don't know, like we're successful.
So maybe you should try that for
everything.
your next relationship.
Don't
Like,
dream.
Yeah, seriously.
Don't dream.
I struggle with nostalgia though. I take pictures of everything. I'm caught up in memories and the past.
Me too. Yeah.
I literally will sit there and I can look at like I'm so nostalgic. Like when it just comes to the way that my mom is my phone background. Like I'm just so nostalgic. So I struggle more with the past, than I do the future.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah.
Memories.
Very
I'll
cut
look
and
at.
dry. You fuck with me and I'm done with you.
I want to get to that point.
Is it easy
Where,
for
like,
you
it's
to,
like you're
to
no-
cut people off?
Do you think that
Yeah.
you've grown to get to that point, or is this something you've been?
No, I've
having?
definitely grown to get to that point. I think I've been with people that I've trusted in a very
You get fucked with, it's over.
Exactly, pretty much. Like once once someone you've like really, really trusted with all of your heart that you've known for your whole life really fucks you over, like at that point you're just like, you can't trust people.
Serious.
Like you can't trust people, and like if you do something that is fucked up and whatever it happened, like I'm done. Like I'm very cut and dry.
Do you treat your friendships the same way?
Not necessarily, no. I tell my friends to fuck off all the time. Like we have that love-hate relationship. me and Teresa have a love-hate
Yeah.
relationship. I'm very honest with them. But for me, like, I'm reasonable. But, like, if you did something to really disrespect me, like, I am done. Like, I will be done with you. I just don't
Wow.
think that you need to service people in any other way or fashion after they disrespect you. Like, you serve no purpose in my life after that. Like, I'm done with you. I wipe my hands clean of you.
Yeah.
Like, you show me who you are. You show me your true colors. Why do I need that negativity in my life?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't serve me any purpose.
And then I don't trust you, so now our relationship is
It's
not
even
even
about
going to
trust.
be
It's
on
just
the...
like mentally for me and spiritually for me, if it's fucking with my peace, I don't
That's what
need
I'm
that
saying,
in my life.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
period.
need
That's
it
that's a realization I came to, and I only really identified that recently. I have been, like, ever since I moved out of my house, my grandma's place, and I've been on my own since July. I was on my own in Ottawa, but it wasn't the same when you're a student. It's just not. So anyways, I realized I came to, like, a amount of peace. I wouldn't say that it's complete peace, but I have peace in my relationships, and if things don't work out, I'm like,
Okay with it?
I'm okay with it, and I'm like, I'm good. And yeah, you just recognize, hey, like, this person fucked with me, it's not working out, and that's okay. It served its time, and that time is up now. Once you realize that, I think that heartbreak becomes a lot easier.
Easier, yeah.
And I think that if you talk about it with the person too, like, you both, like, establish, like, hey, like, we're both in each other's lives right now. Like, we don't know how long we'll be in each other's lives, but, like, I'm gonna enjoy it right now.
I say that all the time. I'm like, I say that to people, and I think that it makes them, like, depressed, but I say that all the time. I'm like, honestly, this moment that we're having is so great. I love this moment. I don't know how long our time is.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, I love this moment, and what you're giving me right now is beautiful.
Yeah.
Actually,
So thank you.
Yeah, I said that to my boyfriend recently. I'm always open to possibility of things like getting locked off and whatever. Like, you know, I always set that up, even if it's like somebody that I'm like dating and fully interested in. I'm like, this moment's beautiful for what it is right now.
I say that all the time. My boyfriend gets so mad at me.
No, this is what it
There's
is.
no
Like,
end.
you know,
There's no end.
Is that you, like, mentally training yourself?
no, not mentally training. I'm trained, nigga. No, actually, I'm trained. I can recognize that love is temporary. The greatest devastation of all, Jada Pinkett Smith says, the greatest devastation of all that we cannot avoid is even in our boundless, unconditional love, that one partner has to leave this planet before the other. And that is the greatest devastation of all. And when you recognize that all
That's the
love
real
is
shit.
temporary in this life, you peace. You peace that every memory is for the moment and every experience is momentary. And when you find peace in that, you just recognize, like, hey, this board game and this vibe and this drinking and this love and this connection and intimacy is beautiful. Thank you for this moment. I appreciate you for giving me this experience in this moment. And I know it's temporary. It's not going to last forever. Because even so, no matter how much we want it to be eternal, there's no such thing as eternal. Except for, you know, if we get into religion and whatever, that's a separate topic. But there's no such thing as eternal on this earth life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know that. That's great.
So you're in a relationship, Chantel?
Oh God, cannot.
I can't believe that.
It's just not.
Oh my gosh, we got, like, I have so many more, like, questions, but we're gonna have to come back for a part 2 because, like, it's a whole next topic compared to, like, what we're talking
But I
about.
really like this.
Yeah, like, this is
probably
this,
like
this is a great episode.
It was a good one.
Heartbreak.
I think I've
What a trip. We definitely, if I could play Janae Aiko after this, I would.
You can. You could do
Isn't it
anything.
copyright?
To say Johnny Aiko's track. As long as you give credit, I don't think it's copyright. You just can't call it your own.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
try and close this out with some Janae Aiko. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 18 of Heartbreak. I hope that you guys all enjoyed this episode. I go by the name of Shalisa Marie.
Patrice.
And Tatiana from
And
Cozy Culture.
And Chantal.
Oh my gosh. And Chantel.
And I hope you guys have learned, taken something from this, and will look at your relationships in new lights.
And we're saying this with huge smiles on our face right now.
No, but honestly, I think the biggest takeaway is that love is momentary and all of our experiences are momentary. And I think that for me, I think that that's what all of our, like, everything has kind of really amounted to in terms of everything that people said is that, hey, this is momentary. I understand that. And that's what heartbreak is, coming to terms with momentary experiences and having acceptance. I love that.
And
I think that's so beautiful.
Heartbreak helps you build to that mentality right there that you just spoke.
Yeah, pain is process, not permanent.
Yeah, everything's a process. Don't overthink it.
Clap to that. I wish we could cheers.
I know.
Yeah.
Clink, clink, and we out.
Baby, I'ma put you on to something right. If you like it, is that alright? Ready, let it up, no rush, slow motion, baby. If you like it, is that alright? Is that alright? Baby, hold up, stress on the shoulders, hold up. Down, but we grown-ups, roll up. What's the hold up? Yeah, we be on the wave. We got duvets and ashtrays. So comfortable in your space. Take me higher. Best believe I wanna hear about it. Slide it up and get your worries out of here. About to slow it down. Baby, take me now. If you ain't ready, so let it out of here. Boy, I really don't care. Like having you around. Baby, take me now. Baby, I'ma put you on to something right. If you like it, is that alright? Ready, let it up, no rush, slow motion, baby. If you like it, is that alright? Is that alright? Better make sure the lights go off. Sweaters and t-shirts, take it off. I know I'll make it worth it all. I know I'll make it worth it all. I shouldn't pass it, baby, no. Tell me you're feeling better now. I know I make it worth it all.